Welcome to the Kiwimana Day. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 38 from Kiwimana, and this is our Christmas special, just to wish you all a happy and Merry Christmas and a good time over the festive season. This week we will be talking about treatment, swarms and treatment-free beekeeping.
Treatment-free beekeeping.
Yeah, very interesting. And Kiwimana Buzz is all about beekeeping, gardening and life. And we also have an online shop and we sell beekeeping supplies and beekeeper services. So I'm Margaret and over there is Gary.
Hi everyone, this is Gary from the Kiwimana Buzz, and we are beekeepers from the hills of Waitaki Ranges.
That's right, in West Auckland, New Zealand. So welcome to everybody who's been listening, and we talk about our beekeeping experiences and we talk about gardening and plants and bits and pieces about that, and also a bit of politics about environmental issues that may concern our bees and, you know, the land management. We've also been known to go off on tangents about other issues from time to time.
Yes, indeed. We have been known to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, where are the show notes for this podcast, Gary?
The show notes for this podcast are kiwimana.co.nz/38. And thanks everyone for listening to the show this week, and we hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. So what's been happening at Kiwimana, Gary?
Well, I want to say thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast over the last year. It's been fantastic. And I'm busy getting orders finished before Christmas, and been very, very busy in the workshop, haven't we? I've been building mesh boards, drone management frames, and creating lots and lots of sawdust.
That's it, yeah. Very, very busy business, this whole beekeeping thing.
Yeah, and on Sunday we helped Barry move some beehives, didn't we, that he purchased? And they're in their new home. We're sad to see them go, but we know they'll have
Parting
a good
is such
house.
Sweet sorrow.
Indeed it is.
But they've moved to another greener pasture, and there's some photos on Facebook.
Yep, there's photos on Facebook, so if you want to have a look at that, you can have a look. And, they're going really well. And what else did we do on Sunday? We
had some visitors from a very interesting couple who came to see us about Kiwimana. They found us online and they just wanted to come over and meet with us, so they made an appointment to come and see us and bought us some yummy chocolate biscuits.
Yeah, that
which was
nice.
a criteria for the meeting. Anyway, very interesting discussions we were holding about bees and how we like to keep bees. And he also was a builder of the bench hives, which are in the Langstroth dimensions, so that you can have a long bench hive. They're also referred to as coffin hives too, which sounds a bit morbid. But we'll put a couple of photos on about that, and you'll see how awesome they are. They almost look like a top bar hive, but they're a bit more. They're a lot bigger, and they use the Langstroth equipment and frames, and a bit different to manage. So interesting.
Interesting, because it's kind of like a top bar, but it's as you say, uses Langstroth frames, which is best of both worlds, I would say.
Oh yeah, I mean there are schools of thoughts out there that may differ from that, but I'm learning a lot about the top bar hive, and as things go along, I'll be blogging about my experiences.
Absolutely. And so, what have you been doing at Kiwimana, Margaret?
Geez, what haven't I been doing? Crikey. It's been absolutely awesome.
You've been driving all over Auckland, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, we've had a phenomenal response to all our services, and we've had huge orders for beekeeping equipment, and we've introduced a new product called the Kiwi Oxalic Acid Vaporizer. So that's a new product that we're now selling, and we don't sell the old product anymore. And yeah, very happy. We've got an engineer who's designed them, and yeah, all Kiwi. So if you want your vaporizers, just check out kiwimana.co.nz.
Yeah, and, absolutely. We've got a news story about that coming up as well, haven't we?
Yeah, it's going to be great, and it sort of backs up what we've experienced over the last 4 years doing the sort of work that we are doing with our bees organically, and very exciting. So what else have I been doing? I have been preparing our beginner kits, which are... The first ones were Barry's ones, so they've gone, and the next ones we're just getting taken away hopefully this week, and over the following weekend I think they'll probably be going, so I'm just finishing off my inspections of those for disease and making sure they're all up and running and queen right, and the queens are doing all the right things. And yeah, then they'll be ready to go. So that's a lot of work that we've been doing is, coming to, it's finished. So, and plus we're looking at some new things for next year. We're doing a hive management and training plan, which we're working on, and we're also doing I'm doing some work on a community education course, which is awesome, and it's basically about, have you ever thought about keeping bees but just don't know where to start? So that's what I've been working on, and Karen, who's the lady who's doing our gardening blog.
Oh, she's a new guest blogger.
Yeah, she's our blogger, part of the team now, and she'll be doing regular gardening blogs for us. And her special guest is her grandson, Darius, and he's quite a character in these stories about her gardening experiences. So welcome to the team, Karen, and very excited about us doing the course next year, so it's awesome.
Yeah, look forward to those blog posts. Sound good, don't they?
Yeah, we've got a few ready in the wings, so we'll be putting them out shortly. And also we've got to remember that the 1st of December was the start of our official start of summer.
Yes.
And what's going on in our kiwimana apiary is that we have all the cabbage trees have finished flowering now, so they're all going to seed. But the Formian, which is a New Zealand native flax, is now coming into nectar, and you can see the tuis and the bees hanging around them. And also we've got what's the other one?
Oh, Manuka, that's flowering at the moment.
Yeah, the Manuka and the Kanuka will all be coming in, because usually they do start blooming around this time of the year. That's why we call it our own Kiwi kind of Christmas snow, which is all the petals from the Kanuka and Manuka coming down over Christmas. And also I've noticed through my travels working with the new beginners and doing the deca checks that the pahurakawas are now flowering in Te Aratu Peninsula, and I've even seen one down the road from our place which is flowering, and I think it's going to be a long, hot summer.
Cool. Did it have any bees on the pahurakawa?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we stopped the other day, didn't we? We saw the Manuka tree was full of bees, so... Yeah,
it's really good. It's almost like everything started early this year. Even the bees, with all the swarming and the pressure they put us under, really was quite phenomenal this year. So
yeah, absolutely,
it's been awesome, and I've met such awesome new beekeepers, and they have taught me a few things along the way, and we've received gifts.
Oh, that's right. We got some mead, didn't we?
Yeah. One of the beekeepers who wanted a deca check gave us some mead. So Gary enjoyed that on the weekend, and there is a photo there of that on Kiwimana Buzz on Facebook. and that was very nice. And we've been getting vegetables, and what else have we been getting? Eggs. Chocolate biscuits. So we've been pretty spoiled in our travels, and yeah, we've even got some free swarms from our beginners because they've just not wanted to keep them. So we've been able to gift them on to someone else. So making use of all the bees and getting as many as we can up and running. And that's part of our new process too, is that we're going to be helping and training people and setting up more courses to do with that over the coming year. So watch this space, guys.
Absolutely. That course sounds really interesting, eh? So if anyone in the Auckland area knows someone that wants to get into bees and just not sure where to start, we'll have a blog post coming out about that soon.
Yeah, the other thing too is that we are offering, vouchers to people who want to give gifts to beekeepers as well. So if you want to give your beekeeper friend some beekeeping gift, we're absolutely able to help you with that. And, help them buy gear or, new hiveware or frames or wax or bees. We definitely can help you with that. So
absolutely.
Go to our online shop and have a look there.
Yeah, or drop us an email if you can't find what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stocks have been selling so quickly that we haven't been able to keep up with everything. So we apologise for that. And you guys have been really, really supportive of us and very patient because we've had such a huge demand. We're still trying to keep up with it all, and we've got a few orders that we're just getting finished this week. And hopefully everyone will have what they need before Christmas, and it'll be awesome.
Absolutely, so their bees can enjoy the new dwellings. Yeah,
and that you can have a bit of a, couple of weeks to just chill while you enjoy the festive season.
Absolutely, and we're going to do the same, aren't we? We're going to have some family coming up from Wellington, so it's going to be awesome.
Yes, my grandchildren and Gary's grandchildren are coming up.
Yeah,
and very excited about that. A bit of a family reunion, so we'll be having it on Boxing Day. So I'm really excited about that and looking forward to it. So woohoo!
Absolutely. Maybe we can train the grandchildren how to make bee frames.
Yeah, I reckon they should learn how to inspect hives too.
It would be helpful, but I think they might be a bit too small for that.
A bit too little at this stage, but it's all very exciting. And I think that this year has been quite a challenge because, I was made redundant in March this year and taken on the kiwimana beekeeping role full time. And it's created quite a challenge for me, but very exciting and very happy to be in that challenge because it's just been so much fun. I've met so many cool people and fun people and people who are just loving the idea of keeping bees and learning about bees and sharing their ideas, and it's just been really, really great. And I just want to thank you all for supporting us so much over this last year, eh?
Absolutely. No, it's been great. So thanks, guys. Shall we get into the recap of the blog posts?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, let's have a little interlude. Okay, so top blog post. Well, you've already mentioned the one about the oxalic acid vaporizer, so we won't talk about that at the moment. And the next one was how to make a beehive box. That was quite a good one, eh? Did you like that one?
Yeah, it was great. I think it's important for us to know how to do this. In the shop we sell kit sets for it, but building your own, that's a whole other challenge. And if you don't really have time for that, we can help you with that in kit set form, or we can assemble the boxes for you.
Absolutely, and those boxes we made in the photos are actually all going to Hamilton.
Yeah, so they're beautiful. They're all macrocarpa and they just look gorgeous.
Yep, absolutely. We're just going to make some full-size ones next. And this next one is Karen Bean, off-grid beekeeper and blogger extraordinaire. This was an interview we did with Karen from the Maple Falls area near Seattle. And that was a good talk, Dale? Did you like that?
Yeah, I found it really interesting that she was so off the grid. I didn't realise that she was that off the grid. But, power to her and her adventures, because I think it's really awesome to go down that road and give yourself that challenge. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
And she's got a great blog, and she just did a blog post about how bees fly, which is really interesting, about the different muscles they use, and it's fantastic.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's coming soon, so check out that podcast, and there's a link to her blog, and you can read about the how bees fly. And you can, when you're having these social events over Christmas, you can tell all your friends about how bees fly.
Cool.
Because nothing more the people love to hear about is beekeeping stories.
That's it. We love it. Keep them coming.
Let's move into the news.
Okay, well now we're getting really serious here. Okay, honeybee treatment applied in the wrong way.
Apparently, yes, there's an article from the Telegraph about why treatments are failing. And I'd just like to say here, make sure you do your mite counts before and after you do the treatment to make sure it has actually worked.
Absolutely. A lot of people just forget to monitor their mite levels at all.
They do.
They just think, I'm just going to go and treat, and I think that if your mite levels are low, why treat? Then that means the bees are coping. So, monitor them and look after them. And if the levels are that low, then why treat? We sort of have this method that we do is every change of the season, we look at treating, and we will do a mite count before we treat just to know the state of play. And I think it should be encouraged that you do that on a regular basis. So 1st of September, spring here in New Zealand, 1st of December now, we're into summer. So you should be looking at that and trying to do it before you get your honey supers on. So
that's right.
That's what you should be looking at now.
The other thing about that study was they did a study of oxalic acid, and this is the vaporizing of it.
Oh, okay.
And apparently it was 97 to 98% effective in the study that involved 110 colonies.
Oh, that's interesting, because we've been using that treatment successfully over the last 4 seasons, and it does work in our view. That's been our experience, so it's good to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the doctor that did the survey said that what we have found is that different methods do have different effects on the mites and bees, but the best method does not harm the bees and is deadly to the mites. So that was quite surprising. The article came out actually, and it was very popular on our blog. And yeah, so check that out. It's called Honeybee Treatment Applied the Wrong Way. Have a read of that article and read about that study from Sussex University.
Can I just make another comment?
Absolutely.
We talk about treatments in New Zealand, and we have Apilife VAR, which is another organic treatment that we use, because we absolutely agree with the research that we found that shows that synthetic products are causing resistance. And there's a lot of scientific research that backs that up, and Dr. Mark Goodwin has stated that he's from Land and Research, that this is definitely an issue that has to be addressed. And if people keep treating with synthetic treatments and not natural treatments, then they're going to just contribute to that issue. But I think basically my point is that we get a lot of these treatments from overseas, or we read on the internet about them, or we watch YouTube videos about how to use these treatments. You need to be really, really careful, because in New Zealand we have different climate considerations. So we don't have the freezing cold weather. We don't have the desert type heat as well. So we need to be really careful that we treat in a way that has been recommended to New Zealand climate and conditions. So be very aware of that, and not necessarily what's on the packet is what you should be doing. Some of the packets have too intense a treatment required because they're working from different climatic conditions. So check out whoever you buy your treatments from. Ask them, do the instructions meet New Zealand climatic conditions, and just make sure you're well aware of what's required.
Absolutely, and that's why we've actually released a special instructions with our EpiLife one, don't we? That the supply gave to us.
Absolutely.
Which are different than the Italian instructions.
Yeah, and we also do 1 week longer than what's recommended because it catches the newest eggs in the cells. So, we've practiced what we do, and we find the way forward for us. So always ring us if you want to find out more or see what we do. We're happy to share that with you.
Absolutely. And the EpiLife will be being released soon on the blog post on the site. So
yeah, we've got plenty of stocks available for your treatment plan, and I'm happy to help you with it or show you how to use it, and also with the oxalic acid vaporizer. Lots of help available to you for that.
Absolutely. And the next story is about a truck crash in Georgia near Forsyth, which caused massive bee losses. Look at that photo. That's shocking, isn't it? And
it just looks so heartbreaking, really.
Yeah, apparently a truck jackknifed and caused by a tyre blower, and all the cargo of bees fell on the road, and a lot of the local beekeepers were helping them out, which was good to see.
Yeah, they say that they did recover quite a few, though, didn't they?
They did, but I think they lost quite a lot too. So
yeah,
that's sad, isn't it?
It is. I guess there's got to be some lesson in there somewhere.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, just one of those things, I guess.
I guess if you're driving bees, you need to concentrate.
Well, I think his tyre blew out.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing about how you tie up your load or whatever else, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you've got to really make sure when you're moving bees, guys, to make sure they're strapped together very well. And we'll actually have a blog.
Definitely important.
There'll be a blog post coming out about that soon too.
Okay.
In the future. And the next one is...
We've had our own incident.
Well, not our own, but a New Zealand person. Yeah, a truck driver was driving a load of bees and they stung him. And the media call it bee attack.
Yeah, this is interesting because there was real sensationalizing of this story. And then the actual guy that it happened to... was not a beekeeper, he was a truck driver. So the media really screwed this one up because he tells his own story of what happened, and it's a bit different from what the media released. So yeah, it was really good. Have a look at it, guys, because it tells his side of the story, which because there was a few scathing remarks about him, and I must admit I was a bit dubious about the whole situation. I mean, why would you be moving all those bees in the middle of the day? Things like that were being questioned. But this is the truck driver's side of the story, so
and
have a listen. And
he's out of hospital now, so that's good news.
Absolutely, and no one else got harmed, so it's all good.
Absolutely, because I think it was a refrigerator truck which they used to move them during the day, so that's interesting, isn't it?
Okay.
But anyway, this must be a commercial operation, moving that many bees.
Yeah, and if they're using a chiller or something, that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's so they don't get hot during the summer.
Mm.
And the next story, couple stung by bee bylaw. And this is Dallas and Sarah Russ, which we actually know, don't we?
Yep.
They've got a struggle with local council bylaws and what constitutes a beehive. And to me, this raises an issue that the new Auckland Super City bylaws, which apparently we've read this week in the Beekeeping magazine, which is the NBA magazine, are being discussed by the council and also
with the council,
and also with representatives of the Auckland branch of the NBA, Auckland Bee Club, and the Franklin Bee Club. And my question is, what are these new bylaws going to be, and are they going to be discussed with all the beekeepers in Auckland? So, what do you think?
Yeah, my question would be the Auckland Bee Club and the Franklin Bee Club need to engage all their members, perhaps have a special meeting to discuss these issues, because I think it's really important that consultation is held and that what they try to introduce with this new bylaw also matches any bee policy that they introduce and should follow the annual plan that the council put together, that anyone can keep bees in Auckland City as long as they don't create a nuisance, but they need to define what a nuisance is, in my view, instead of having it such a gaping wide wound for any interpretation. So they agreed that anyone can keep bees on private property without requiring a consent or anything of that nature. So I hope they continue along that line, and where public land's involved, that is really to do with, council managing their risk in terms of keeping bees on council land or public land and how they are going to deal with that. So, I think the hobbyist beekeeper needs to be part of this conversation as well, because there are huge numbers of them and they are increasing, and the statistics for the new members within the National Beekeeping Association of New Zealand are showing a huge increase in these hobbyists. And even through the work that we are doing here at Kiwimana, we are meeting all these new beekeepers, and they are learning about what's required, and we're sharing our knowledge in terms of the legalities or the requirements to keep bees. So they are becoming more educated, and they are contributing to the saving of bees in New Zealand. So awesome. And I think that this new law or bylaw needs to, encourage that conversation with all these people, not just one or two people from certain places. So,
Yeah, because I think the thing is they're trying to merge, for people outside of Auckland, they're trying to merge 7 different councils into one. Yeah. And the current Auckland City Council, the old one, only allowed one beehive except when you had permission.
And you know what?
I think that's crazy.
Then in that terms, then you'd be saying that they can't keep 2 beehives on the Auckland Town Hall.
That's true.
And why would they get away with having 2 on there?
They must have got permission.
Yeah, but then, why one rule for one person because of where they are and who they are compared to someone else somewhere else, but in the same council, under the same council? And they're applying a lot of the old rules from the old legacy councils to today. And
yeah, it's true.
I admire that they are going to be doing what I understand is a bee policy. But in the meantime, I think that this couple, they are doing what they're doing to save bees, and I think that there should be some leniency in terms of their situation compared to what's going on with Auckland, the new Auckland Super City Council, looking at new bee policy, which is more bee-friendly.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Yep.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome.
So, I think that a good conversation has to be held to establish, a good outcome for the beekeeper. Awesome. Next one.
We're up to questions.
Fascinating facts.
We'll just have a Oh, sorry, yes, you're right. I made a mistake.
That. Oh, dear,
13 fascinating facts about bees.
I liked this. I really enjoyed this.
Did you?
Yeah, there was some cool stuff on it.
And it's a fascinating article by a website called Mental Floss about the honeybee. Did you know that bees help catch serial killers?
Oh, fascinating.
Did you hear about that? Should we go through them?
Okay.
Briefly. Their sting has some benefits.
Okay, talking about the bee venom.
Yeah, bee venom. I think they reckon it can prevent Prevent HIV. Yeah,
what's that? What's it called? Melatonin or something?
Yeah, melatonin can kill HIV by poking holes into the virus protective envelope.
Awesome.
Wow, this is cool, eh? And they've actually got references here to the research.
Articles,
so check it out and have a read, guys.
I think it's good, and it talks about rheumatoid arthritis, which is actually quite the painful one inside your bones, and they're saying that there is some research there to back up that it has been helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's different, of course, but have a look through this article. They also make a statement of fact that the bees work harder than you.
I don't know about me at the moment.
I think that this is extremely true.
Because the other day it was raining and the bees weren't even doing anything, and I was still working.
It's funny that you say that, because in the apiary, I've always... Like, you go out and you watch the bees working, and there's one hive there that is always up at the crack of dawn, and they're busy going backwards and forwards and really happy and, in their work. And then there's this other hive which never really has... We've kept it because it was quite a challenge when we first got it. But
is that Remuera?
Yeah,
yes.
That one. And they just get up at 11 o'clock and, they all... sort of gather out the front, and then they might go out a bit. But it's a lot quieter hive. They've got quietly building up their population.
They never produce any honey, do they? I mean, not enough for us anyway.
Yeah, they did. They produced 2 boxes of 3/4 frames last year.
Oh, okay.
And we've used a lot of that honey in our splits.
Yeah.
And
good.
They did really well in that sense. But, they're never really startling or... huge swarming potential for them. They're pretty calm bunch of bees, but
Well, let's move on. We don't want to keep people waiting.
Oh no, it's awesome! Don't move me on. This is our last podcast for the year, isn't it?
Last of the year, and we've got a contest at the end. We'll talk about that at the end too. For those guys that listen to the end. Anyway,
number 3.
Number 3. When they change jobs, they change their brain chemistry. This is interesting.
Yeah, I think this is, I think it's true, because when they're first born, the bees do mainly nursing, don't they?
Yeah, the nurse bees, yep.
Yeah. And then they grow up, and what's the next thing they do? They go out forage.
I think they become... Isn't it next? What's the first? I think the first stage is wax. The next one is nurse bees, and I think it's soldier bees or something, or undertakers.
They can't produce. They can't deal with wax the same as an older bee, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think the younger bees are.
They need help. I know that when they're first hatching in the start of the season, a lot of those newer bees need to have the honey cappings removed for them, because they're not strong enough to open the cappings themselves. So that might be a bit later on. So maybe nursing is first, and then moving on to foraging, and after that I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. If you know, leave a comment in the show notes, guys.
Absolutely. So what?
And the 4th one, their brains defy time. What does this mean?
When aging bees do jobs usually reserved for younger members.
Oh, their brain stops aging. Really? So that if we do jobs from younger people, we don't start aging then?
Oh, you feel young.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
So we need to go and get a job at McDonald's then, because that's what a lot of young people do.
Oh, of course, and working in a cafe.
And then we'll feel a lot younger.
I think that in terms of doing the beekeeping, I think it has made me feel a lot more energetic and enthusiastic. It just keeps me busy. It's so, variety and everything. So maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like number 5.
They're changing medicine.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Oh, this is about propolis and how they use propolis as an antiseptic. And it's basically beehive glue, it says. Yeah,
that propolis or propolis, as one of the new beekeepers told me.
Propolis.
Propolis. He said that, not him, but propolis, as I call it, is used in the hive to get rid of drafts or to clean things and seal the hive. And you notice at the front of the hive, if it's been pretty wet, I have noticed on our hives that they will propolis up the entrance reducers. Really interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because people like suck a bit of it, and it's apparently stops sore throats.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just think it's amazing. So many properties in what the bees produce, and I'm sure there's a lot more we'll learn about.
And the next one is they can recognise human faces.
I believe it.
Do you think they recognise beekeepers?
Yeah, I do. I think that they focus on who they're pissed off at, because when I've been doing the Deca checks, they take a lot longer than an ordinary inspection, and the bees definitely heading straight for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this is interesting. And apparently that they've used that technology for face recognition technology.
Okay,
yeah, this is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And 7, bees have personalities.
I
Absolutely.
Believe it. Yeah.
You get angry ones, you get calm ones.
Yeah. An agitated honeybee can be pessimistic.
Pessimistic. Well, I suppose it is a suicide mission, isn't it? You go and sting someone. What if they realise that?
I think that they're programmed to. Their instinct is overriding that understanding.
Yeah. Number 8. They get buzzed from caffeine and cocaine. Who the hell feeds their bees cocaine?
I don't know. I mean, do they have the same digestive or mental capacity as a human body? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, it says here scientists at Newcastle University found that nectar laced with caffeine help bees remember where the flower is. But they know that anyway.
Yeah, interesting. What's the next one?
They have Viking-like supervision. What? Oh, this is about navigation. Wouldn't it be better to say they have Viking-like navigation? and the bees use the sun as a compass, which we know. That's how they do the bee dance. But when it's cloudy, there's a backup. They navigate by polarized light, using special photoreceptors to find the sun's place in the sky. That's how they can get home when it's like cloudy.
Yeah, and they're fascinating. Absolutely. And they can solve hairy mathematical
problems.
Number
10, they can solve hairy mathematical problems. This is about travelling. This travelling salesman problem. It's whereas you have to work out how to get to all these different places, and they can work that out, apparently.
Yeah, I think that some of these are sort of linked together, aren't they? Because bees do have the ability to do the dance.
They do. Well, it says here that they can work out the shortest distance between flowers, but I mean, the fact they fly, everywhere is the shortest distance, isn't it? Because the shortest distance is between 2 points is a straight line, isn't it?
But wouldn't this link it to the waggle dance?
Yeah, it would. It would.
Because they would be doing the dance. Maybe the dance is a mathematical equation.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is. It's all about distance and the difference between the sun and the angle, isn't it? So it's quite impressive. And this one's good. They're nature's most economic builders. This is about the honeycomb, because apparently the honeycomb is exactly, the walls are precisely 120 degrees, and it's a perfect hexagon. And this is the most most efficient way to use wax.
And the other thing is that the cell of in the comb is actually quite hard to destroy destroy.
Destroy?
Destroy.
Oh, okay.
Because of its shape.
Oh, because it's stronger.
Yeah, so in terms of architecture, it's a great shape to use.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one here, they can help us catch serial killers.
I wasn't quite
I don't know about
this one.
Serial killers behave like bees. They commit their crimes close to home, but far enough away that neighbours don't get suspicious. Similarly, bees collect pollen near their hive, but far enough that predators can't find the hive.
Oh, that's interesting, actually, because they're not going to tell the wasp where the house is, are they, or the hive is?
No, true. And number 13, they're job creators.
Oh, we can speak for that, definitely, because we now have kiwimana. And we have a job because of the bees.
It's true.
Absolutely.
It's true, absolutely. And that article was written by Lucas Riley, so have a look at that.
I'll read that last one because there's some real significant figures in that.
Oh, Americans consume about 285 million pounds of honey each year. On top of that, the US Department of Agriculture estimates that the honeybees pollinate 80% of the country's insect crops, meaning bees pollinate over $20 billion worth of crops each year.
So thank you, bees.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you for our jobs, and thank you for our food, and thank you for honey, and thank you for the healing from honey and propolis. And
yes,
we're
absolutely.
very grateful.
We'll have to get them a Christmas present, won't we?
Yeah, that's new hive boxes.
Oh, okay. Well, let's have another musical interlude, and then we will get into questions from you.
Doot. Okay.
Questions from you. So, how much honey is lost by splitting a hive?
I would
say not much.
Not much. But what you're doing is when you're splitting a hive is you're making sure that the old queen gets honey and the new queen gets honey. So effectively you are sharing the honey within one hive to make two hives. The bees won't be
using anymore, eh?
You know, they won't, because you're changing the population, because as the population increases again, they will just build up their stores. So you're not actually harming them by doing a split or sharing the honey, because they will rebuild up as the population builds up. So as long as you provide honey for both the split and the old queen as she's moved away, then you'll be fine. So
absolutely.
My view is no.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say is that when you split them, they're probably more concentrating on building more brood than collecting honey. So I guess that will reduce the amount of honey you'd get. But then you've got two hives, so you'd get twice as much, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and don't forget that if you're splitting a hive, they also need to have a lot of energy to build up their wax.
Absolutely. And another question is how to stop bees with mesh. Ooh.
How to stop robbing bees.
Oh, robbing bees.
Okay.
And, well, we actually got an idea from the New Jersey Bee Club that Kevin Ingram's a member of, and he actually did a video about inventions that they've come up with. And they had like a mesh, which is like a square grid thing. We've actually made a prototype, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean...
Were you impressed with that prototype?
It looks really good. I'm just interested in how it will perform when we do our field test. So we'll be checking that out. And the mesh is a very fine mesh. So the mesh that we found that was more successful was the wider mesh. And, I think with the wider mesh we had more success of keeping the wasps away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have thought it would matter because it's just about the smell, isn't it?
No, it seems to be like there's some visual impact to the wider mesh. I don't know why. And when we first started doing the wasp guards, as I like to call them, we were making them quite short. I mean, not very wide. And we were also putting in on the sides of the hive, we were having a bit of a visual impact by having it with wood on the side, and that seems to stop the wasps coming in too easily. Okay. Because the wasps tend to come from behind the hive and try to sneak in from the sides. So those wasp guards that we created, we've modified a little bit, made them a bit taller. Things like that have made a big difference. So I like that idea, and I like the idea with this one that you've created on how it is held to the hive.
Yeah, it's held with a bungee cord. It's a bit of a nod to the bungee inventor in New Zealand. Yeah,
and I think that's not so that they can jump off the harbour bridge with it.
No, I hope not.
Anyway, it's just so that it's easily removed and doesn't come off with the wind, because sometimes with the ones that we built, if there's just a bit of impact with them being bumped or anything, sometimes they fell off.
Yeah, and I think we also found when it was strong wind, remember they used to sometimes fell off as well.
Yeah, so I think that there's some real merit to it, and we look forward to putting them to test in the field.
Absolutely, because we got some feedback about the other design from David in Wanaka, and he said that the wasps were working it out, so maybe they won't work this one out, or to see. Yeah.
I was thinking about, with the wasp guards that we had, is that maybe putting a piece of mirror on both sides of the guards would create a visual problem for the wasp.
Oh, okay.
Because they'll just see themselves as they're trying to get in from the side.
But won't the bees try and look at their reflection and comb their hair and stuff?
Well, the bees don't usually fly in from the side. They usually go to the centre and then go down to the entrance.
Well, that's another idea.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm going to have a look at that for next season and see whether it makes a difference.
Cool.
Yeah, all these exciting ideas.
Well, let's talk about blog posts coming up after this musical interlude.
It sounds like we're going to be working really hard to get these new blog posts coming out.
that was a bit heavy. Well, we have to play that kind of music to get our writing up.
I think you should play it again.
No.
Yes.
Okay, we'll play it again. Yeah.
Okay, guys, now.
Now, I'm going to talk really fast now because I'm really into heavy metal.
No, play that guitar.
Anyway, blog posts coming up. The ones I know about. What's happening in Karen's garden? We talked about that before.
Yes, that's our new gardening blog. That will be a regular event on our newsletter, and we look forward to that going. For next year, more regular content for that.
Absolutely.
So it's exciting.
And counting mites with sugar. It's something I'm doing.
And
what have you got? What other ones have you got, Margaret?
We've got the craft fair one, which has taken a bit of time to get together. I'm really sorry about that. And then there's some stories from our beginners, which I'm still putting together.
Stories from the beginners.
Yeah, just a few of their tales that they've given me permission to use, and so I'm putting them together. And I can't remember what else.
Well, we'll look forward to those.
Oh, there was the 1st of December one to announce summer and what sort of a rundown of what's happened over spring and what's flowering. And I've got some real cool photos that go with that because
it was funny. The first day of summer, it started raining for 3 days. Anyway, the plants need the water.
Welcome to West Auckland.
Anyway, we have some good feedback, don't we?
Oh, honestly, guys, we just want to say thank you. We have had the most awesome time. We've met the most wonderful people, and we've shared some real adventures with our beginners and our customers and the tales that they tell us. And honestly, we have had such a ball.
Absolutely. And this is the feedback we've got about our podcast. Do you want to read that one?
I think you should.
It's I can't pronounce that. SGs?
Sedge.
Sedge. SGEGZ, all the way from Ireland. So thanks, Sedge. And you say fun, helpful, and full of great content.
Awesome.
Gary and Margaret do a brilliant job with the podcast. Very easy to listen to, with content relevant to what is going on in the beekeeping world. It's fantastic.
I think, thank you, Sedge, or I think it's, what is it? Where's he from again?
Ireland.
Ireland, so it might be Irish for Seth or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah, well, get in touch, Sedge, we'll have a talk about it.
Yeah, the other thing is that we got some compliments from our customers regarding our premium hive boxes.
Oh, yes, that's right.
That what good quality the wood is, and yeah, it definitely matches the premium. So that was really good to hear, because we decided that we'd go for a better quality of wood, and although it's a little bit more than the ones with knots and everything, it actually performs a lot better out in the apiary.
Absolutely.
So thanks for those comments, Tristan. So we appreciate that.
Yep, and we also got a comment from Matt from Beekeeper UK, who's still busily working on his new podcast, aren't you, Matt? And he doesn't like me saying that. But he said, this is about the Karen Bean interview. Another great interview, Gary. Really interesting. Sorry we couldn't beat the Wallabies for you on the weekend. Yeah,
we needed to kick their anyway.
That was when Wales almost beat the Wallabies.
Oh, yeah.
So that was sad for Wales.
Well, we always support two teams, eh?
Yeah. New Zealand and anyone playing
Australia.
That's right. So thanks.
Oh, and by the way, the All Blacks did an awesome season this year. They won every single game they played.
Every single game.
Woohoo! Go the ABs.
Absolutely. We are the best team in the world. Sorry, Australia.
Pretty much.
If anyone in Australia is listening, we're sorry. But you are better at league.
Okay.
Well, they are. They won their world championship, didn't they?
Okay, less of that. Let's move on.
Okay, so if you'd like to leave an iTunes review, that would be fantastic. And that's kiwimana.co.nz/iTunes. And what's our contact details?
Our website is kiwimana.co.nz. And you can always email us at info@kiwimana.co.nz, or Margaret@kiwimana.co.nz, or Gary with one R at kiwimana.co.nz. And we love to hear from you. We love to get questions, and we want to support you as much as we can. So don't hesitate to get in touch. And you can also have a free subscription to our regular newsletter, which comes out once a week. And that's where we let you know about all the things that we're doing and what we're getting up to, and what our latest blogs are, and world news and Kiwi news about beekeeping or in the environment, or, land management issues. So, yeah, don't be shy. Join up. You can do it easily online.
That's right. It's kiwimana.co.nz/sign up, or if you go to our website, it's on the right-hand side at the top, isn't it?
Absolutely. And also, don't forget, we have an online shop, so you can have a look at the products that we sell. If there's nothing available, just email us, because we may have been too busy to update our stock levels, so don't hesitate to ask the question.
Absolutely, and if you're overseas, we can ship stuff overseas with smaller items. So we don't want to be sending thousands of things.
Yeah, I think that's the
like the vaporizer we could send overseas.
Absolutely, and we've got the Kiwi Hive tool, which can easily be shipped overseas, and it's a fantastic tool, and we use it all the time.
Absolutely.
And it's so helpful. Instead of having a couple of different hive tools, you just need this one. It gives you everything.
The Kiwi Hive tool. Yeah, absolutely, guys. And so if you want to do that, just drop us an email if you're overseas, and we'll work out a price for you, because we haven't got the prices for overseas yet, but we'll do that. We'll work it out for you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Sorry, guys. I was just giving Gary a nudge about...
we have a special contest. Is this just for New Zealand people?
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. Well, if you look at the photo on this podcast, there's a photo there of
someone.
Who is that person?
And you must get the full name.
The full name, and it's not the obvious person. It's someone It's someone that we know.
Why don't you just tell them who it is?
No.
Anyway, guys.
Anyway, you have a look.
Just have a bit of fun, and if the first person who gets it right will organise a Kiwi hive tool to be sent to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best of luck.
Absolutely, and as the After Hours bonus this month, we have a Christmas carol for you.
Oh, I like Christmas carols.
So
I like Snoopy.
Here's a Christmas carol for you, and we really wish that you guys have a great Christmas, have a safe Christmas with your families, and try and have a sit down and have a rest and a relaxation. And obviously listen to our podcast, but just have a safe time and have a great time with your families and friends.
We look forward to hearing from you and how your adventures have gone with your bees over Christmas. And we've already got some Christmas greetings for our Dutch side of the family. And they already celebrated Sinterklaas on the 5th of November, so that's all very exciting.
Absolutely.
And just be safe out there, guys.
Yep, thank you. And this song is from David Clifford and the choirs of Peterborough Cathedral. So have a great Christmas, guys, and we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you all, and see ya.
No crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the bright sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Till morning is mine.